So Lance brought us one bus in, the Miss Budweiser bus, GM 4106, and it was really, we did compression. It was leaking oil. The oil leak turned out to be coming from the airbox drains, so we ended up doing compression tests on it, and several of the cylinders were very low on compression. Still enough to run, but way, way low, and they were passing oil and stuff too, so a lot of wear on the bearings. Looks like it was last rebuilt. There's a date stamp on here somewhere. I'll show you in a second. But yeah, the pistons are scored up pretty good. The liners are obviously scored. A lot of weird wear in them. The rings have a little groove that shows you the amount of wear. When that little line in the middle goes away, they're worn out. And most of them some of them you can barely see that little ring groove. So here I think it says 1979 on this when it was last rebuilt. That's when the liners are from. So usually that's a pretty close date. So. Anyways, we're tearing into it. We're going to do a full rebuild on it. Tyler's doing most of the work. I'm just assisting just a little bit. So if you want to see more of the videos, go to his channel over at Indiana Diesel. Yeah, see there, it's 1979. So, and here you can see, some of the wear in the cylinder liners, how terrible it is. Gouged up, gouges, scrapes. A lot of them are like that. And most everything that was really bad was the lower bank on it. The engine sits at an angle. But we pulled the head, and we pulled both heads, and the one we did a leak test. We poured some fluid down in there, and the valves weren't leaking, so it was all of them cylinder liners, and like I said, most of them are on the bottom, but there was one on the top that was bad too, so that's why we're replacing them all.
Very tent, never mind. Gotta get into the details of it. Yeah, screwdriver. And I don't think these have ever been out here, Scott.
Okay. For some reason, I thought we did that.
Let's see what temperature those ones are. The whole thing comes out. Like the brass ring and everything.
I'm trying to.
You're prying against it.
It's going up.
Okay, I had to fix my vacuum gauge. I thought it was leaking around here, but actually it wasn't. It was leaking around there. So I got that cleaned up and good to go, and now it's vacuum. Okay, so we're about ready to start reassembling on here. Which set did you say we were using? Pink? Pink. Sir, this thing you can put in a taper.
Taper.
Hold that for me. Wow.
All of the fittings that we have to deal with need to be really clean. First with the soapy water.
Ready? Yep.
And then afterwards spraying with the brake cleaner.
This cap has to come off or you can't get the tool.
Hello, friend. Who's it for?
Ooh, you're all the way in? Yeah. Barely. That's close. Go ahead and push it a little more.
Yeah.
Yes, we Okay, so we got the kit all loaded, we got the bearing in, we got some rubber protectors on there for the crank, and we're getting ready to load that in. Number one there. Go from there. There's definitely some wear and marks on the camshaft here on this cylinder. This one's much better, a little bit better. But these over here. So we have a 3L that was really in 3L, and then we have a 3L that was in 4L. Not a problem, just so we know that when we put it back together. And we don't mix up the rod caps between them. That would be the big issue, I think. There's 3 more cylinder kits that Tyler has loaded here, ready to go. We're getting ready to install them in the engine here, so it's going pretty good. Shouldn't take too long. Another maybe 10-15 minutes to get this done here.
Can I have another bottle of brake clean?
for the bottom bank in.
Okay, got that all assembled up there. And we won't be able to complete the top end of it because we're missing some bearings. They accidentally sent us 2 boxes of bearings for an inline 71 series. So the part number, kind of dumb that the last digits are the same. Oh, no, they're not, just a 2P. No, it's not. So they are different, just ends in a P. But yeah, this is the wrong number for what we need. This is what we need. I have a little update from Jerry here about his Wonder Lodge that we did the rebuild on half of his engine. All right, Jerry. What's the verdict on your engine?
Oh my God. Did I tell you how much I love my bus? It's just very special. I never had so much power behind it. I mean, it's just so noticeable. I just want to drive it every day if I could, but I can't afford the diesel. Super expensive now.
How many trucks on the interstate have you passed in the last 10 years? Not counting
before
the engine rebuild.
Before the one, because it had a flat tire. It was parked on the side of the road. But now, yeah, I just feel the power. I mean, and it's not shell. Yeah, big difference. And even with towing the trailer and almost 300 gallons of diesel, it just moves very, very quickly, very agile. Taking off has always been kind of slow. I mean, there's so much weight to actually move forward. But after that, I feel very comfortable. I'm not afraid of actually passing somebody. I seen it going up to 75 and a little more, but I'm not going to say how much more. But yeah, it's a different machine. It's a different time machine for sure.
Awesome.
Thanks. No, thanks to you. Thanks to you guys. Thanks to being here and getting it done.
What you drinking there, Jerry?
Water.
It looks red.
It's coloring.
Looks like sangria.
It is sangria. I'm old enough. Are you gonna card me?
And then we'll show you some more progress that we're making on the MCI 5C Saudi version from Saudi Arabia. All right, we're replumbing all of the airlines on here, and we're using the DOT fittings with the nylon. And it's just much easier to do this and less expensive than going back with these. But these AeroQuip lines are reusable, but they're so expensive to use. And these on here are very brittle. They've turned into pipes instead of hoses. So we're just replacing everything on here. New fittings everywhere and new airlines. Pretty easy job. Maybe $150 in materials, much cheaper than having all those individual hoses made, which probably would have been about $400, maybe $500. Working on this DD3 diaphragms here. We're going to try and get the clamshells apart to replace the diaphragms, and then we're going to replace that dust boot on the front too.
There's someone coming down the driveway. The other one has all 4 like it's supposed to.
So these were working right, but you can see how much wear on the rubber on the inside, the seams on both of them. It wasn't long before they were going to fail. That's the diaphragms for the DD3s. Very, very bad shape.
Come here, buddy. I love you. Whoops, sorry. Glasses of wine. Oops, not that way. I don't like this.
It sure is encouraging.
Put the fire in front of me. Not like that. I didn't like that. Yeah, buddy. I don't like that one because kind of getting in.
The front and the front hubs aren't usable yet, and
So
The
you've
engine's
been
not
here for
usable
10
yet.
days, and it feels like you've been here how long?
It's
A
either
month.
2 days or a month. It depends on the moment.
I mean,
I think there's about a month of grime on the inside right now.
Yeah, I don't know how long it takes to get the inside clean, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I have tan lines or grease lines anymore. I haven't gotten clean enough to tell yet.
That is funny.
I mean, seriously, I actually haven't been able to tell yet whether I'm still slightly dirty or I don't know.
Or grease lines.
No, it's mostly tan lines, but occasionally it mixes
All
in.
right, Jerry's gonna remove the S cam from this side. Is that what you're working on?
Yes, sir.
Little bonus now that our bathtub for the apartment came in, but we went ahead and hooked it up, so now we have an outdoor bath.
See him loading up his tools, check the air and all those duels. It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? Well, he's got a long hard ride in old Lenny the Silver Sides. Get that bus grease monkey on the road. Well, he's got that hammer down and that 47 Hound. It's that bus grease monkey on the road. He travels all around and he's coming to your town. Get that bus grease monkey down the road. See that 4104 with the propped up engine door. Watch that bus grease monkey do his thing. 30 years behind that barn, 'cause it don't run worth a darn. Watch that bus grease monkey make it sing. He knows in Detroit there's no doubt, upside down and inside out. It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? Saving buses far and wide in that old blue Silver Sides. It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? Now he's moved his family to the hills of Tennessee. Watch that bus grease monkey make his home, bringing buses back to life with the help of his dear wife. Watch that bus grease monkey get it done. Well, he travels town to town looking on them old greyhounds. It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? Saving buses far and wide in old Lenny the Silver Sides. It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know? It's that bus grease monkey, don't you know?